Good morning, good morning, good morning. This is the day that the Lord hath made. We shall rejoice and be glad in it. So excited to be with you one more day, one more opportunity. As the old folks say, I'm above ground. In him I live, in him I move, in him I have my being. I'm alive, breathing. Woo! It's an exciting day to be alive. So, first off, at the recording of this broadcast, it is September 11th, and we pause to remember those in the September 11, 9/11 crash and towers, Twin Towers in New York, and that great tragedy for airline industry and everyone else, and as a country and as a nation, the U.S. So we pause to remember that. I do remember exactly where I was. I was still teaching at Presentation Academy at the time when that happened, and we were turn the TV on, Julia Journey, and I had to go up on the third floor to actually turn the television on because we didn't have that whole closed circuit TV then and all that good stuff. Our technology wasn't as advanced as definitely it is now. And I'm standing there with my principal and I believe one of the counselors, and we're watching the second plane go into the second tower as it was happening live, and it was an incredible, very emotional experience. And then to know all the tragedy, happening even later in the Pentagon, etc. So, I know that some people are still alive feeling the effects and the loss of their family members and the unsurety of it all and the question marks that still remain. But we remember those, and only God can comfort that level of grief and shock. And but those people are never forgotten. And then, secondly, it's Grandparents' Day. Yay! Happy grandparents! Happy Grandparents' Day to all grandparents out there today. I have two books, Granny, Grandpa, and Me, and Where Granny and Grandpa, that I specifically have for dedicating to grandparents. If you're interested in purchasing those, go to roystonchildrenbookstore.com. That's roystonchildrenbookstore.com. You can find all of my contact information and all of my websites and online stores at juliaakroyston.com. That's juliaakroyston.com. So today I have just, as I say, I'm just going to let God lead and guide me. Those of you who speak and you're really kind of unsure of a direction, God gives you something and you want something else and you want to talk about something else, but he keeps bringing it back to you over and over and over again. Um, so I'm going to give it to you just like he gives it to me. So this is going to be for me and for you. And so let's go. So he says, know for yourself that we need to know some things for ourselves. This is taken from Deuteronomy 7 and 9. Know therefore that the Lord thy God, he is God, the faithful God, which keepeth covenant and mercy with them that love him and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations. Because you know him, you know that he is your God. He is faithful. You know it because you have that past experience with him. There was something like knowing something that not just hearsay, not you read in the book, not somebody told you, but you know it for yourself. um I was raised, as most of you know, or though people who know me know, I was raised apostolic, and traditionally in apostolic churches, very spirit filled, very charismatic, very expressive, you know running around church shouting loud. But then there's also a lot of guidance and rules and systems in place because you need order. But a lot of that was guided by not only the pastor but leaders, and of what we should do and what we shouldn't do. Because otherwise you just have a major chaos. But there are some things spiritually that you have to know for yourself. There are some things that you can get advice about, that you can get suggestions about. and you can get true wisdom. It's true wisdom. But there's something about hearing the senior mothers from our church say it, and hearing about the miracles God worked in their life, because we do overcome by the blood of the lamb and the word of our testimony. We do overcome. Our faith is built when we hear that he did it for somebody else. Then our faith can be built for whatever we're going through to happen. That's a real place. That is biblical. But then there's something about knowing it for yourself. There's something about having the experience. And yeah, we have the previous people's testimonies, and we're like, well, if you did it for sister so and so, if you did it for my mama, you did it for my daddy, you did it for big mama, then you could do it for me. He can, but will he? And will he do it the same exact way? Not necessarily. We have no clue. We know that he will, just like the scripture told us in Deuteronomy, that he is God. He's God supreme. He's King of kings, Lord of lords. He's Jehovah. He is the sovereign God. He's got all power. He can be everywhere. He knows everything. He's faithful. He don't change. He can't change. He's immutable. He can't lie. The whole 9 yards. But will he? And it is in his perfect and divine will to take care of what my problem, my situation. And what kind of relationship will I have with him after this situation is over? How will I know him? How will I know how he did a certain thing? Because one thing about it, there are certain experiences that happened in my life, and I've never seen that done before. I didn't know God would tell you to do that. Well, one thing, he may not change, but his methods change. He's still God, Jehovah sitting on the throne, but the way he does things, whether he speaks the word, whether he spits on the ground through Jesus and puts a mud on your eyes, or whether he tells you to dip 7 times, there's going to be different methods, but the power is still the same. The same sovereignty is still the same. His still ability to be God is still the same, no matter how he works. So knowing him the way I know him and the way you know him may be different, but we still got to get to know him. We got to know for ourselves. We not only have to know for him, but we have to know in this life how uh, to walk and how to live. So being raised apostolic, and seeing it happen for a lot of people, and we shouted and we rejoiced and we clapped and we cried and we yelled for them, and we was happy when God delivered them. But there's something about knowing that deliverance, or knowing God will do it for us, that's personal. There's something about being that out there and having to, as they say, cast our bread on the waters, having to cast our fleece out there, having to walk on our own ability and have a relationship with God that's much more powerful, that takes it all the way to a whole nother level. So when I left home and I left the safety of my home church and I moved to Texas, and I lived in Lafayette and that worked at Purdue, and then I lived in Cincinnati, and then I came back home, and then I've had so many transitions and shifts in my life. There are some things that you can't tell me about. I know for myself. And some things, that built my faith from a child, hearing those other people's testimonies. But there's some situations that, number one, hearsay won't work. Hearing about how it worked for somebody else really won't quite work, because it doesn't fit in the parameters and the not only just the style, but the specific circumstances and situations that I'm in is totally different than what you're in, because God will customize trouble. God will customize a problem. God will customize a situation that only happened that particular way. It may be like somebody else, but your situation is customized specifically for you, for your makeup, for your personality, for your situation, for your a budget, for your mindset, for your personality, for your specifically. And hearsay won't quite work, because he wants you to have your own specific testimony. He wants you to have your own honey, this is how it happened for me. He wants you to have your own witness. This is what you saw with your own two eyes. These is what happened to you in that situation. So hearsay, it just kind of won't work. I mean, you can hear about it and hear what other people say, and you're like, yeah, but that's not quite the same. And then number two, once you know something for yourself and after you come out, you won't be fooled. You won't be fooled. Because you won't be fooled by, number one, your own doubt. And then number two, what the enemy says. Oh, well, he did it a different way. He did it some other kind of way, but I don't know. He might not be able to do that. Nope, you won't be fooled. Because the things, the old song say, you can't make me doubt him because I know too much about him. You won't be fooled. You be like, oh, well, he did it before. I don't know how you're going to do it this time, but he going to do it again. You won't be fooled. When you know for yourself, you won't be fooled. You won't be fooled. Because that's what those experiences are for. It's like in school when they give you all the practice problems. Now, the problem may look different, have different numbers, but the way we did a three-digit addition on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, when the test comes or the pop quiz comes on Friday, it's going to be set up the exact same way. The numbers may change, but the process is going to be the same. So we won't be fooled. We know we asked him before, he's going to do it again. We know we prayed and fasted before. We don't know how he's going to do it. It may do it differently. It may bring somebody else, but we won't be fooled. And when you know something for yourself, you won't be fooled by it. I tell you what, when, knowing that when you're in different situations and you see God work in totally different ways and bringing, the scripture tells us to be careful entertaining strangers because some have entertained angels unaware. So when I was in graduate school in Lexington at the University of Kentucky, and I still don't know who the person was to this day. I still have never thanked her. I've only thanked God for whoever that mystery person was. But I was going through a situation while I was in graduate school. My first master's was quite stressful. And anyway, so I was taking my comprehensive exams. It was the final exam for the whole entire year program. And I was doing something crazy anyway. I was getting my master's degree in a year. I had already 6 hours. I needed 30 to go, and I did it from July to August. So August, I was taking my last comprehensive exam. I woke up that morning after a very stressful night, a horrific. I don't think I've ever had a headache like that before. I'm not really big time prone to headaches. And I sat there in the exam. Some of you may know the story, but anyway, I'm sitting there with my my notebooks. I can only bring like my purse, two notebooks, those booklet things, because we were writing out everything back then. You was just writing out. That was in the 90s, and I had like 2 pens and 2 notebooks. I was just gonna write, and they were gonna give me the test. But I don't know what my face said. I don't know what my head said. But there was a young woman who walked in. She had all I remember is she was tall with long brown hair. I was already seated in my seat because it was a test. We had to beat every other one. And if you know me real good, I don't let everybody lay hands on me. Period. I'm real picky about who lays hands on me or whatever. But I guess I look so distraught. I didn't care who laid hands on me. She didn't ask me no questions. All of a sudden, a lily white hand went on my head, just like this. And she didn't even say nothing because we were supposed to be completely quiet. She took her hand off my head, and I didn't freak out, but I was in pain. I didn't care. So she took her hand off my head. My headache immediately left. Now, people are like, well, was she a witch? I don't know if she was a witch or not. I don't believe so. Because the headache left immediately. After the exam, I searched all over the library because library science was my degree, so we had everything in the library. I looked everywhere to at least say thank you. I couldn't find her. And I don't remember, I was focused on the test, so I don't remember her being in the room. So I don't know if she went in, left. I don't know what she did. But that was a situation It was customized for me. That was a customized miracle for me because I didn't tell anybody I had it. I lived alone in my own studio apartment, little small box place, but it was my own customized miracle. It was my own customized situation because it was one of those situations that only God and I knew. Period. So no matter what the church mother said, no matter what my mama or my daddy or big mama, anybody else said, I knew God at that moment for myself. Period. You couldn't fool me. You couldn't. All I know is the headache was there and then it was gone after she took her hand off. So God used her. So, he'll use anybody, whoever that is. So, I have to be careful about that, saying they can't lay hands on me. I my tradition cut off right then because I'm like, well, it worked. It was God. I move on. No demons jumped on me. I was good. So they would. I don't care how it come. God brought it. I got deliverance and I passed and I got my first master. But it's with that I know for myself. I know for myself. I know it for myself. So hearsay won't work. You won't be fooled because you've had that experience and nobody can take it away from you. And then finally, just like I'm doing right now, you can teach somebody else. You can tell somebody else about it. You can witness to what happened for you. Now, you can't necessarily say this is law and this is the way it's got to happen because I did have some people say, "Oh no, if it don't happen that way, it ain't God." Well, because he uses different methods. He's given us that in the word. But at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, you can teach what you know, and we love to do that. But you also have to quantify and say, I don't know how he's going to do it for you. This is the way he did it for me, but I don't know how he's going to do it for you. But I'm believing God, and I put my faith with yours that God's going to deliver. And please come back and tell me how he did it, because I'm always thrilled and excited to hear the different ways that God keeps you and God delivers you and God makes a way and he brings you out. Because one, I got to know you. You got to know him for yourself, and I know him for myself. So it increases my faith. It increases my ability to trust in God and walk out on literally nothing and walk by faith and not by sight because I know him for myself. He is God. He's faithful. He will keep his covenant and he has mercy and grace and provision and everything for those who love him and keep his commandments. But you got to know him. Know therefore the Lord thy God. You got to know him for yourself. Just like you know your business, just like you know your job in that company, you know it. Can't nobody tell you no different because you know how it works. They learn from you. You train the trainers. You train the new people who come because you know it for yourself. So I look for God to do something miraculous this week. I look for God to present a situation, present a circumstance. Hopefully it's not too much of a problem, but present an opportunity for him to show himself mighty and show himself strong in your life. And when it's all over, you say, ooh, child, you can't make me doubt him because I know too much about him. I know him for myself. I trust that blesses you today and helps you along your way. And look for God to do the supernatural. Look for God to do the miraculous in your life so that you can live your best life. Coming up at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, live your best life on envision-radio.com. To listen to Envision Radio, you can always just go to any browser, use all your mobile devices, and put in envision-radio.com. Or you can download our free app on the Google Play Store. We're still in the Android world. Yay! It is a free app. You can download and listen to it everywhere and anywhere, or you can get radio.net, radio.garden, Alexa Get Me Radio, Roku, MediaU, MyTuner, Audacity, tuner.co. We're everywhere you want to be. So listen to envision-radio.com. Today we're celebrating Social Media Day. For me, is every single solitary day because I am on social media in some way, shape, or form every single day. So I have my special guest, Miss Stephanie Collins, and Dr. Hassel, and Pastor David L. Smith, and First Lady Linda Smith are my guests today. So tune in, envision-radio.com at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then coming up after me at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, it's the Spike Davis and Friends Show. Tune in for laughs, music, and more. And then on Tuesdays, Spike Davis and Friends, of course, is still on envision-radio.com. And then on Tuesdays at 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Book Business Boss Show, where I am talking about writing, publishing, promotion. We're still talking about writing and product creation and all that good stuff. It's going to be a while before I even get to publishing and promotion, which is a good thing. So I'm super excited about that. You can listen to the replays at the bookbusinessballspodcast.com. Heard on Tuesdays, 10:30 a.m., the Book Business Ball Show on envision-radio.com. If you all new products of Julia Royston's are at juliaroystonstore.com. Any upcoming classes, bkroystonpublishing.com, and then click on classes. My classes on demand or BK Royston courses on demand.com. There's no excuses right here. You can get what you need, learn what you need, especially about writing, business coaching, product creation, publishing, promotion, whatever that is. Find it right there on one of the sites. And of course, you can find everything on my new contact page, juliaakroyston.com. If you're ready to publish, I just got an email not too long ago. Okay, I'm now ready to write. Oh, okay, my book is finished. I'm ready to publish. Let's have a conversation. Talkwithroyston.com. I believe each book is like a child. It's individual. Each author is an individual. And so I like to have a conversation with each author prior to doing anything. So I'm at this stage of my career, my business, I want what's best for the author as well as what's best for me. So let's have a conversation. Let me hear your heart. Let me hear your vision for your book, your connection to the subject matter, your vision of what God has given you and what you intend to do with your book. Is it just a book, or you got a whole platform that you're striving to build with the book and get the message, taking it to the next level? So let's have a conversation. It's a free consultation. Talkwithroyston.com. That's my calendar. Jump on my calendar. It will be for 30 minutes, free consultations to go with talkwithroyston.com. If people say how, they ask me all the time, can I give them your phone number? Should I give them your email? The best way to really have a conversation with me and contact with me, just go straight to my calendar, talkwithroyston.com. I'll be happy to call you on the phone number that I provide. And remember, I'm on Eastern Standard Time. So if you're in one of the other time zones, kind of calculate the hours so you'll know exactly what time on your end we'll be meeting, and then what time on my end I'll be meeting. Because I'll be calling the phone number at the time you scheduled. So I had people, well, no, I wasn't. No, boo. Let me just remind you, I'm on Eastern Standard Time. So make the adjustments so that it's convenient for you. And then also, those of you who wish to help with my literacy efforts, the BK Royston Foundation is giving out books and backpacks and school supplies, especially through here. I'll be doing another giveaway around the Thanksgiving and Christmas holidays, as well as throughout the year. There are nonprofits I partner with. And if you wish to help or wish to be a part of that, especially before December 31st, which BK Royston Foundation is a 501c3, so your donations are tax deductible. So go to bkroystonfoundation.org, or you can use Cash App, BK Royston Foundation, or PayPal, Julia at bkroystonfoundation.org. You will receive a donation letter that you can present to your tax preparer so that you can know that that is a nonprofit donation. So super excited about that. I am nearing the 2,000 book mark, and more to come and more to go. So feel free to connect with us. If you have questions, go to bkroystonfoundation.org. Be blessed in all you do. So I'm Dr. Julia Royston, trusting that that helps you and blesses you along your journey. Remember, all my contact information is juliaakroyston.com. So feel free to reach out to me. Head on over to Envision Dash Radio, and where the Live Your Best Life show is, but where Praise Meets Talk 24/7. Phenomenal music and excellent programming all week long. There is something for everyone. And we pray that you take away some wonderful information and enjoy some phenomenal music throughout your life. So, and throughout your week and your day. So, good morning to everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, love. Good morning to everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes, thank you so much for all of you that have been listening in today. I appreciate it, and I trust that um, God blesses you along your journey and helps you along your way. And you all be blessed today, tomorrow, and always. Live your best life. Bye bye. Good morning. Hey, Miss Tasha. Oh my God, look at your babies. Bye bye. See y'all later.